Hello and welcome everybody to tonight's fantastic dinosaur action featuring Topiary Stomper as some early ramp a creature, stable ramp when it enters. We grab a basic land from our library, we put it onto the battlefield. Lovely stuff. But yeah, I just think it could be better in more situations, more often than Hulking Raptor, perhaps. Get into that in a little bit. And the matches, the season did just reset. It is Arena, Explorer. I'm into Platinum now. I was in Gold for a couple matches there, but that's how it goes with the switchover every single month. I'm looking forward to another Pioneer League. Oh, I gotta get the border on. 1 second. Nope. That back border, yeah. All right, good to go. Once I resize myself, my goodness, that's massive. Yeah, I think that should do the trick. Okay, Topiary Stomper, boom. Cost 3 mana. It is a dinosaur, which is lovely. Commune with dinosaurs. Could grab Topiary Stomper, setting up for a lovely turn 3 play, or have a mixture of 3 lands, and I want to get just one more ahead. Means I'm going to be extra explosive. Oh, get that. We'll talk about the questing beast, but extra explosive with that mana on turn 4. Waiting to play Hulking Raptor on turn 4 itself, and then having to wait till turn 5 to get the 2 temporary green that it makes in your pre-combat main phase. Sometimes felt a little bit off. Of course, I would usually hope to play Archdruid's Charm on turn 3. Search for a land. Either that's going to usually be a Sunken Citadel or a Castle Garenbrig. Assembling that package. Again, Sunken Citadel, tapping for 2 mana for lands with activated abilities. So that means if you have 2 Sunken Citadels, you get 4 mana total for lands with an activated ability. Castle Garenbrig, 4 mana for its activated ability. 2 Sunkens, 1 Castle, 6 green. Sprinkle in some other lands there, and you're off to the races as always with this lovely Stampede Dinos. But sometimes it is a little bit razor thin. However, when I play Hulking Raptor, sometimes I don't need that 2 green at all, which is rough, and oftentimes the opponent kills Hulking Raptor. Chances are it may be the first creature that I play, even with the Ward 2. It doesn't last. Fiery Impulse, usually costing 1 red from Izzet Phoenix potentially, or something else, but usually it's Izzet Phoenix. But Fiery Impulse for 1, they would pay an extra 2, so a total of 3, I lose it. I don't really care that the opponent used up a Fiery Impulse. I care that it killed the Hulking Raptor. If I could just get there, in other ways, that's going to be good. If they still have the Fiery Impulse when I do my thing, by that point, chances are it's going to be over. I mean, Ghalta Stampede Tyrant putting out all those big creatures. Dinosaurs, most of them having haste. A Fiery Impulse that is still in the opponent's hands isn't going to be stopping this. Usually, Fiery Impulse could take out Palani's Hatcher, which is giving every other dinosaur haste, just because it has that 3 toughness, but again, for the most part, you're playing a creature, you're drawing out a piece of removal from the opponent, but if you don't normally care about that removal, if they still have it when you do your thing, you might as well not play Hulking Raptor, potentially. And you don't have to rely on it, because chances are it's going to die, and you just do something that is maybe sometimes a touch slower, but you still get ahead permanently. Topiary Stomper, stopping opponents, stomping opponents, because we get 1 ahead, 1 closer permanently, grabbing that basic land. We'll see. Of course, it is a creature, 4 power, triggering Vaultborn Tyrant, similar to Hulking Raptor's 5 power. Questing beast in there, as you saw. List as always is in the description, but that was painful against the 9 lives solemnity, 9 lives garbage, I believe I called it in the chapters. Oh, painful. I felt like a little bit of garbage after facing that. Just a wacky deck that I couldn't really do much against. But Questing Beast means my creature's combat damage can't be prevented. We've got an out there if we face it. I don't think we're going to. But just having the Questing Beast in, it's not like it's a bad creature. It's just fantastic all around. 4 power for the Vaultborn Tyrant. It's not like it hurts. It's got haste, which is lovely stuff, if it is part of the package that's put out onto the battlefield with Ghalta Stampede Tyrant. Otherwise, everything's basically the same. Topiary, because it can grab a basic land, not just a forest, a basic forest. I could sprinkle in a single plains, a single island, a swamp potentially, just to help fix, depending on the splashing that I'm doing. It is still white and it's probably going to stay white for the foreseeable future, but I think I have enough sources of that. The 2 Indatha Triomes, the 3 Temple Gardens, that's 5, then Sunken Citadel. We could choose white if the rest of the hand looks like it can still support the 2 green that is needed for Castle Garenbrig. If you have a sunken, 2 forests in Castle Garenbrig, those 2 forests are going to go towards the ability of Castle Garenbrig, and the 2 of any color could be 2 white from sunken. Just saying. It's quite nice indeed. I always love that. Sometimes I forget the fact that the second sunken I could choose as a different color if I need it for the splashing that I'm doing. Speaking of, well, a new addition, kind of new addition. Also to help against the 9 life Solemnity. Not exactly, but if we face it, we're going to smoke it. Anything with artifacts or enchantments, done. I just haven't tried Fade from History yet. I had 4 copies. I want to hate against the painful is it artifacts. That has kind of started to creep up a bit. And with the season reset, I think people oftentimes they gravitate towards more aggressive decks to fly up the ranked ladder. So I think Is It in Soul could be an option. This, boom, dead, done. Although that particular deck does have some counter spells, so we hurt that aggressive deck. High Noon for the slick shots, show off, spamming a bunch of spells, that's good. That aggro deck is covered. And we could have some targeted removal, but for the most part, I think High Noon is going to do the trick. I'll just do my thing. The opponent goes as slow as me, and my one thing a turn is going to be more impactful than theirs. That's the idea, at least. And Leyline of Sanctity, the good old, at this point, the classic, the fantastic. Give myself hexproof. Thumbs up. Tear Asunder, some artifact, enchantment, exile. I've used this before in the past, and eventually we can kick it. Probably that's going to be later on. By the time we have 4 mana, the first sunken could be chosen as black. The second one, I got some black sources with Indatha Triumph here, which is always a forest. It's always nice to have more forests, just to help Castle Garenbrig enter untapped, because it requires a forest. But also having all those other colors, it's white, it's green, we're good. We're good. And I say we just jump right into it. Possibly I might trim the Questing Beast. Of course, a Topiary Stomper instead of Questing Beast, chances are is going to be, you know, a little bit more beneficial. If I see a hand without any Topiary Stompers and the one Questing Beast, I might be kicking myself, because I know that Questing Beast likely would have been the 4th Topiary Stomper. Pretty much would have been. Okay. Oh, beautiful. Perfect hand. Lovely to see the Triumph, Castle Garenbrig, Forest, 3 lands with Archdruids. Oh, that's gonna pack a punch, I hope. The opponent did say hello, so that makes me think they got some funny business up their sleeve. And with that Castle Garenbrig there, we're all set for Vaultborn Tyrant. Okay, Angels, I don't have Torpor Orb. We might, we might just be dead. Fortunately, again, we do have that forest. Archdruid's Charm 100%. Has to grab and put the Sunken out. We need to get as close as possible, but it could be, well, we could be dying to a whole lot of life gain. Oh boy. Yeah, not too bad. Well, I like the looks of this. We'll just go Topiary Stomper. We'll get to 8 next turn and hopefully draw a creature that gives us haste. Regisaur Alpha or Palani's Hatcher. One of those 8 chances to give haste on everybody should be coming up, you would think. At least we put a lot of power out. Oh boy. Oh, okay. Hasty. Oh, Palani's Hatcher. We got the job done. Good game. Good game. Lovely stuff right there. Phew. And I get to attack with Topiary Stomper, so you need 7. It worked out perfectly that, well, we got 7. We got the job done. Hopefully I can do it again. We got very fortunate, though, that this Angels opponent, they stumbled a little bit in the land department, but, very scary. Again, I was using Torpor Orb for a long time there because I just was never facing Angels. Amalia Explore wasn't really around. Rough. Torpor Orb would be lovely in this moment. It's not here, though. Do I want to do much of anything different? Terra Sunder isn't going to do a whole lot. We would need to get to 4 mana to exile an Angel. By that point, I imagine this Selesnya Angels opponent probably could have gotten the job done. High noon. Well, all right, we'll keep it the same. Okay. Whew. We'll keep it the same and we'll get lucky the same. We just never know. Maybe the opponent is a little bit worried. They think that is what happens every time with this deck, which is, certainly not the case, but it happens often enough, and that is 100%. Oh!
Good Lord, what is happening in there?
You won! You did it!
I'm drinking Nestea Zero Sugar for anybody that's wondering, and I'm drinking the tears of my opponent. I don't know. It doesn't happen all the time, but yeah, I gotta say it happens often enough. Assembling all those parts, making tons of big mana. I just love that I seem to keep tweaking a little bit time after time and making it better and better. And sometimes the opponent gets a little bit worried, I guess, and you bash them so bad in game 1 that they lose all hope and pack it in. I certainly wasn't feeling very positive against Angels. I think they would have had a good chance. They probably would have taken me down if they had played it out. It's a lovely deck. It is. Of course, as some of you guys are thinking, hey, why aren't you using Rampaging Ferocidon or Giant Syndrome? Yeah, oftentimes it gets answered. Rampaging Ferocidon, pinging whenever a creature enters the creature's controller. I have a lot of creatures that enter, and Rampaging kills me often, but the Giant Syndrome, sometimes needing that red on turn 3, needing it on turn 3. Sometimes it's too slow by that point, but they also have removal. But yeah, the red on turn 3 is kind of rough. I basically don't have any red in the list at the moment. Tweaking it just to get the red could be a little bit problematic. It would be problematic if I kept that hand with no lands, and now we got a lovely one with 3 Commune Archdruids. Pretty much all the mana we're going to need. I think we can safely send the questing beast to the bottom, though. Oh, Vaultborn. Love it. You know what? We'll wait for Commune. Hopefully they don't have Thoughtseize. Turning Commune into a land which can't be discarded to the Thoughtseize is nice. However, I think this could be something quite problematic. Quintorius combo. Or 5-color Fires of Invention. Something nasty is about to happen, but we got that lovely Sunken Citadel to boot, and next turn it might be getting close to over. We play Castle Garenbrig as the third land. It enters untapped. With the forest we have... Oh, Splunking. We got 5-color Splunking, a World Souls Rage. I think that's what... Oh, my goodness, another... Well, we'll just do this anyways. Sometimes you just draw a bunch more Sunken Citadels and you sink the opponent. You sink them. I could have grabbed Ghalta's Stampede Tyrant, but I wanted to make sure that I was able to make all the mana I needed. Big time. Coming up. Eventually. Go with another Sunken. Good old Vaultborn. Hopefully they can't deal with it, at least for a turn. Hopefully they destroy it. Maybe they have a counter spell. Could have possibly considered that. I think they have some sort of removal. Leyline Binding, I would... That's alright. We still got the trigger. Don't worry. Now we're just hoping for Ghalta Stampede Tyrant at some point. Definitely bringing in... whatchamacallit, Tear Asunder to exile the Leyline Binding or up the Beanstalk. It looks like 5-color Domain. Oh, 2 up the Beanstalks though is going to be very, very problematic. 5-color Niv Mizzet, something like that. It's getting a wee bit nasty, but hey, at the very least we got Tyrranax Rex. They can't do anything about it right now. They will be able to exile it next turn with the Leyline Binding. Now that is going to cost a total of 5. It is fully reduced to a single white because they have a land of each type, but they do have to pay the ward 4 cost, so the total cost goes up. Might as well play Sylvan Scrying. We don't need the land, but we might as well thin the deck and get our source of red with that Cavern of Souls. Just in case we don't draw another creature next turn, at the very least I can start to play those Palani's Hatchers in my hand. Yeah. Oh boy. Leyline Binding. Do it. Eventually. It's going to be Escape Shift, I think, which I must admit, Escape Shift was pretty fun to use. I enjoy it. They're mostly tapped out. That's alright. Spend 5 to temporarily get rid of the Tyrranax Rex. An Archdruid's Charm next turn to, get back my Vaultborn Tyrant. I really just want to see Ghalta Stampede Tyrant. And it should be coming up any time now with 45 cards in, seeing a quarter of the deck. Ooh, well, that's not quite it, but hey, we got some good stuff. They do potentially have 1 white with that Cornucopia. They've already used 2 Leyline Bindings, so I don't think there's going to be too much coming up. I imagine they have some number of sweepers. A Sunfall, okay. Okay, you do what you gotta do. Ghalta Stampede Tyrant, let's go. Fade from history actually would be quite devastating. Yeah, Archdruids, lovely stuff. Get rid of the Vaultborn. Again, I want the card draw. I could make 6, 7, 8, possibly. That's what we want to do. Eminem is back. JDX, yes. I didn't listen to the song he posted, but seems pretty good. Seems pretty good. My favorite, yes. Eminem is a rap god, and I kind of am as well. Okay, don't do anything too painful here. Let's make some magic happen. I'm a rap god because I'm good with the shrink wrap. I was pretty fantastic where I used to work in a shipping department. And I thought, hey, yeah. I'm kind of like Eminem. We're basically the same. I'm a rap god with shrink wrap, and he's a rap god with rapping. But I also thought a parody of Eminem's rap god, but about rap. W-R-A-P. That'd be kind of hilarious, potentially. Kind of like a Weird Al situation. Beat it, or eat it instead of beat it. Ooh, I love it. I don't know. There's a lot I haven't gotten around to, music-wise, movie-wise. I just love what I'm doing here a lot. I don't love that the opponent continues to X on my stuff a lot, but, well, gonna make something happen sometime. Independent. I'll have to look into that. Maybe after I'm done here. I'm not monetized, so I don't lose any money at the moment, but I am meaning to turn that on. Would have been nice if they would have used, or if the auto tapper had used something other than Cavern of Souls. It would be pretty sweet to play Regisaur Alpha and or Palani's Hatcher the previous turn. Ooh, and the track's okay. Well, eventually we gotta get Ghalta. It's gotta be coming up. Lots of good stuff here, yeah. Painful. Tons of lands. But speaking of tons of lands, I've been meaning to maybe trim it down to 19, we'll see. I love 20, I gotta say. More than 18. But I still want to try it. Many matches, 100 or so, 150 matches at 20 lands, trim. Perhaps a forest, I'm thinking. But with Topiary Stomper grabbing forest out of the library, you really want a nice, healthy amount. Especially if you draw some and the opponent destroys some of your non-basic lands with Field of Ruin and you grab a forest. You want it to be a decent size. Okay, that's pretty good. Ghalta Stampede Tyrant. Let's go. Yeah, Fade from History actually is going to be quite hilariously insane, and we got it. Phew. Only took forever. My, oh my. They don't have any mana. They're completely tapped out. This might be what it's all about. Hopefully. Both of those angels do have lifelink, but we have to be super duper aggressive and smoke them. As much damage as we can. It's not going to be enough, sadly, but they've gone down a wee bit. Okay, just about anybody. We've seen a lot of lands. Of course, I still could grab more. All is not lost quite yet. Of course, the Trax is going to attack, has Vigilance. They're going to gain another 7. And, well, it's going to be rough. I would like... Another Archdruid's Charm would be pretty sweet. Get back that Vaultborn Tyrant once again, or just draw into it. 1 has been exiled. 2 actually have been exiled there. Yeah, ooh. So there's not too many Vaultborns left, just a single one, I believe. It's pretty good stuff, though. They have 1 of each type, so Herd Migration for a total of 7 puts 5 3/3s, 15 power for 7 mana. Quite reasonable. Okay, no, don't need that, and that will sadly do it. Just Flood City, but we're going to be smoking them though with hey, I'm happy to have brought it in to pack a punch, get the job done, although this opponent is kind of slower a little bit. We'll trim that Questing Beast and Topiary Stomper. Really, I think the main thing is just fade from history, decimate all their artifacts and enchantments, and that's going to hurt their game plan big time. We got tons of big creatures. We'll get the job done. Now, stop them from gaining a lot of life, making a bunch of mana. The Up the Beanstalks, done. Cooked beans. Man, I love beans. Boiled with a bit of salt and pepper and butter, fresh as well. If you grow them, pick them right away. Oh, nothing tops it. Well, we certainly could top this. You know what? I'm going to go for it. I'm going to risk it because we've got a Castle of Forest, part of the combo with Castle. Sylvan to grab Sunken Citadel. Either we draw the Archdruid's Charm to grab the second Sunken, another Sylvan, commune with Dinosaurs to dig for Sunken or something else. Eventually being able to at least make 6 mana for Carnage Tyrant there, I would assume. Well, oh, there we go. Good stuff. We're rolling in it. Beautiful. Hopefully they don't have much land destruction. I would be pretty surprised with 5 color Up the Beanstalk. Domain. Oh, Atraxa. Yes, please. Love it. Love it. Oh boy. A little bit scary. They got Sources of Black. Oh, Splunking. We're not going to use Fade from History quite yet. Certainly Carnage Tyrant is our best bet. Scare the opponent. They can't exile it. They have to have a sweeper, which they could right now. Sunfall and whatnot. Of course, I do want a little bit more value than taking out just a Splunking. I want to take out that Up the Beanstalk and Ancient Cornucopia. Play Beanstalk. Do it. Do it. You know you wanna. Oh boy. Oh, okay. Don't think they have too much counter spells. They have a Source of White. They could have that Leyline Binding, but you know what? You can't Leyline Binding this. You can't. I think this is my best bet for aggression. Maybe we lose some of that stuff. Maybe just Tyrranax Rex. We'll find out, but I feel like taking him down to almost dead. Pretty sure Vaultborn Tyrant would have been exiled, which could have been good to play Vaultborn, drawing out the Leyline Binding, and then use Fade from History to take out the Ancient Cornucopia, Splunking, and the Binding on the following turn. Atraxa, it is a card. Oh boy. Atraxa has to block for them to live, so I don't see them winning this one, which is pretty fantastic stuff. Oh, shucks. I'm going to go Sylvan Scrying. I'm going to search for... It doesn't really matter at this point, but again, we need that source of red. If I draw the Regisaur or Palani's Hatcher, play that, get the job done, attack them, have to block to live, or they just concede right here. Boom. There you go. Fade from History? Might as well. Might as well. Stop their lands from entering untapped. No Ancient Cornucopia. I think that is going to bring the pain. I don't really care if they have a 2/2 bear. It's not scaring away me. They have a lot of triumphs. That's the main thing. And having those now enter tapped once again, because Splunking has that ability there. The ability there where lands you control enter untapped. Very painful if we can make that go away. Okay, Vanishing Verse. Pretty good stuff. Hey, if you want to pay 6 to take out one of my creatures, perfectly fine by me, but I think we just go with Ghalta. Commune with Dinosaurs. I could have dug to search for a land for the turn and then still played Ghalta, but I might not have seen a land. I think that's gonna work out better, I hope. Hopefully it's not a Sunfall or some sort of nasty sweeper. It's pretty much what it has to be at the moment. Oh boy. Oh, mousing over the lands there, scratching their head, wondering how I made all that mana. Or maybe they can destroy land. Okay, I think they must have land destruction. They're really looking pretty hard at that stuff.
Dang! Oh!
Cast Casualties of War there. They paid 6 to destroy Ghalta. I'm alright with that. Try for a Commune, see what we get. See what we get. I like the looks of that. I do. Quite a bit. Play Palani's Hatcher. There's no artifacts or enchantments to destroy. Might as well get the trigger from Vaultborn Ghalta next turn, and yeah, that's gonna pack a punch. Big time. Oh look, the bear didn't do a whole lot of anything. They know what I have, they see it, so they have to play around it. Do they sweep now? Do they worry about what I might do next turn? They have to take everybody out. We've certainly dodged the Sunfall bullet, exiling each creature, which is painful because exile effects get around the death trigger from Vaultborn. When it dies, if it's not a token, makes a copy of itself, so making a copy when it enters, we gain 3 life, we draw a card. Very, very nice, but yeah, exile effects are painful. Extinction Event, Sunfall, a couple common ones. Ouch. Ouch. Gotta do something. Putting me to sleep. My goodness. Okay, not too bad. Hopefully they didn't dig and draw that Sunfall. Yikes. Okay. The Archangel double kicked to take out Palani's Hatcher is quite fantastic. It's absolutely what they're doing, what they should. Whoa. Okay. Guess they figured they had no chance whatsoever, and they definitely had no chance whatsoever. Oh, to put another Vaultborn out. Yes, please. Let's draw 2 and gain 6 and smoke them. Smoke them.
Ruthless aggression.
Yeah. Ruthless aggression right there. Fade from history enough? That's probably enough. They have a ton of artifacts and enchantments. Might as well be extra efficient and destroy all artifacts and enchantments. Now, if it was just the odd one, if the opponent had 1 or 2 specific painful sideboard artifacts or enchantments, I could see myself maybe using Terra Sunder instead of Faded from History, whatever it's called. Taking out multiple up the beanstalk, something like that, would be pretty painful, but this hand is going to be pretty lovely to keep 2 sources of green. We have 2 Archdruid's Charms. Sunken Citadel 100% has to be chosen as green, and Ghalta Triumph is the second. We'll hold off on playing that Cavern of Souls just in case. Hopefully we draw the 3rd source of green by turn 3, but even if we don't, I'm Could be a Commune with Dinosaurs, could be a Sylvan Scrying. Any number of things would be lovely. A forest. Alright. There we go. Good stuff. Hopefully they don't have a counter spell, but well, hopefully there was a land in there in the mixture. But we'll choose a Vaultborn Tyrant at the very least, and well, Castle Garenbrig should be coming up. We're a quarter of the way through. 4 cards on the bottom I've seen. 49 cards left in the deck. 4 of those have been seen, taking us to 45. Okay, oh, we're getting there. We got that third source of green. That is the dream. We'll do it now, just in case they have any sort of funny business. I don't think they could. Nothing that would stop me getting Castle Garenbrig, but hopefully. That's not bad. Oh my. Well, I can make enough for you-know-who. You know what? I think we just wait. Archdruid's Charm. We grab Ghalta's Stampede Tyrant and we kill him next turn. Probably. I was thinking Fade from History, but I wouldn't have been able to go with Archdruid's Charm afterwards. Cartographer's Survey, though. Look at the top 7 put up to 2 lands onto the battlefield tap. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I would imagine there's 2 lands in the top 7 for a lot of people. Certainly this deck. Vander untapped. Okay. Good stuff. Alright, here goes nothing. Strap yourselves in, folks.
Call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! But not for me!
Oh boy. Gonna be drawing a lot of cards here. Containment Priest? Oh, I was kind of wondering it might be Containment Priest. I would imagine a Leyline Binding on Regisaur, taking away the haste this turn. Don't get to attack with everybody, and then they're going to sweep with a sweeper next turn. Cross my fingers that doesn't happen, but we got so much insane draw. We can. What did I say? What did I say? I'm playing the deck for the opponent. Hashtag pre-recorded. It's how it goes sometimes, but you got to figure we're going to refill. We're going to get so much good stuff. Chances are it's going to be another Ghalta Stampede Tyrant and a Regisaur and a Tyrranax Rex. I'll take it. Might as well go with Commune, play our land for the turn, another Castle Garenbrig, and let's make sure we kill them. And grab another Palani's Hatcher, and we'll get the job done. You know what we don't need at this point? Sylvan Scrying, because those can only grab lands, and we have enough lands. Archdruid's Charm could be exiling one of their enchantments or whatnot, but oh shucks. Oh shucks, guys, they exiled every creature. Oh boy. Tends to do the trick. They only have 2 mana. Now, maybe they would have 2 Leyline Bindings casting both. We'll see. I don't think they're going to have 2. That would be unfortunate. Yeah. You're going to have 2 Leyline Bindings, buddy, to stop lethal. Hopefully they have none. It would be nice to attack with Palani's and Regisaur Alpha.
But you can't do this to me.
You know how much I sacrificed?
Sacrificed a lot of wild cards, perhaps. I would imagine that particular deck is wild card heavy. This one as well. A lot of decks are wild card heavy. Not so much the mono red slick shot show off that tends to do the trick, pack a punch, but they still have 2 mana. Let's just wait. You never know. They could have something. Haze of Pollen to stop combat damage. Or we just don't have enough to get the job done. Oh, so close, so close. then sweeping. Oh boy, oh boy. At least we are at 44. We can take a lot of damage. Oh, Sunfall once again. My, oh my. That's no fun. You know what also is no fun? When we go Fade from History and we destroy basically every permanent they have. Getting back Regisaur Alpha. Okay. Good game. See you later. Actually, I'll just go with Ghalta. What am I thinking? Hopefully that's good game. They better not have more Leyline Bindings. I don't think they do. Oh, they do. Do they? Maybe not. Oh. I was getting a little bit worried there. My, oh my. That ancient cornucopia, tapping for a man of any color, could tap for a white. Where there's one Leyline Binding, there's 3 more, sometimes in quick succession. Okay. Phew. Very, very scary, but I was just so excited to use Fade from History to take out everything. Get the Regisaur Alpha back. I almost didn't see that. I had drawn that Palani's Hatcher and, well, they were dead. Phew. Lots of lovely answers from the opponent. The bindings, the sunfalls, the vanishing verse. It's hard to power through that. Definitely. Certainly nice to have something like Carnage Tyrant, where they can only really get rid of it with a board-wide sweeper. Of course, it doesn't always have haste, and as you saw, they deal with the hasty thing, so I've mentioned it many times before, adding the 9th or the 10th copy of something that gives everything haste is, well, it's not a bad idea. It's never a bad idea. Yeah. It's pretty easy to see for most opponents. Oh, everything has haste. I'm going to target the one thing that's giving everything haste, and then they can't attack with it. The more things that give everything haste, the merrier. Means your game plan is going to be more resilient. Attack the opponent, kill him that turn. And you might need to because they have a sweeper coming up for next turn, but that is a perfect hand. Sylvan Scrying on turn 2 off of the Temple Garden. Although this is Amalia Explorer. Some sort of angels, maybe as well. We have our turn 3 play. We don't need another Sunken Citadel. That's going to feel kind of awkward whenever it does happen. I'm just going to grab a backup Castle Garenbrig. We are going to be able to make 7 on turn 4 with the Topiary. Eventually, we'll get to where we need to. Or we're just dead to Amalia plus Wild Growth Walker. You never know. Sometimes that's how it happens. Fortunately, we got that other land. 6 mana at the moment with the lands on the battlefield. Castle Garenbrig plus the forest. We're getting to 8. Is Vaultborn Tyrant going to be enough? Will they have removal? Will it be exile based? We're going to gain some life at least. Oh, okay. Okay. Vaultborn might actually save us, as some of you guys witnessed last night, 2 nights ago. Amalia sweeping everything. Vaultborn Tyrant dies, makes a copy of itself. Chump blocks Amalia. And sometimes that's enough to get the job done. I hope. We'll find out. We just have to block her. That's okay, as long as they don't go Court of Calling. Ooh, Deep Cavern Bat to exile Ghalta Stampede Tyrant is going to be incredibly problematic. That is what's going to be hit. Sadly, they dodged a fantastic bullet, although they could have cast Thoughtseize. That is always in the mixture here. I don't know, I might go Leyline of Sanctity. Stop the deep cavern bat, stop the thought seize. Oh boy. You dodged a big one. Well, we still have Vaultborn Tyrant, gain some life, pad the life total a bit, stabilize really. Etherflux Reservoir is going to be quite problematic. Man, they gained a lot of life there. Okay, I like the looks of this. Well, the only play is Tyrranax Rex, so that's what we're doing. Ghalta Stampede Tyrant. Not so much. That's going to do it. But maybe not. Maybe not destroying everything. Let's wait and see. We get the Vaultborn. We get to chump Amalia. Let's pause. Have a nap while they do this. Wake me up when it's over. I should play the circus theme song. Dun 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 dun. Oh yeah, they drained me. What am I talking about? I forgot about Dina Soul Steeper. If they didn't have Dina, we could have made some magic happen and would have been good. Now Dina, does she target? Each opponent loses life. That's not targeting us. Leyline of Sanctity. Not doing much. But preserving Ghalta Stampede Tyrant, that would have helped. I would have done the trick. Questing Beast. Trim it. Topiary Stompers. I say we trim it. Yeah. Okay. Maybe I'll bring back in Divine Smite. Something. Instant speed, exile, just... You get Amalia gone, and as some of you witnessed, that's sometimes all it takes. But that hand would take a lot of luck to win, with just a Castle Garenbrig as the only land, even though there is the Leyline of Sanctity. It's better. It's not Leyline. Okay. Oh boy. Well, we'll put 3 back, and we'll hope for the best. We got our first source of white with Temple Garden. Lovely stuff right there. Sylvan Scrying. I like the looks of this to get that Sunken Citadel. If they have a Thoughtseize, well, there's nothing for them to discard because they can't. Beautiful. We'll be able to make 6 on turn 4, 7 on turn 5. It's not nothing. Well, be playing that Carnage Tyrant. Might be seeing it get swept if they play the Wild Growth Walker in the... Oh. Okay. Maybe we're definitely dead. I bet we're dead. Get that concede button ready. Oh boy. Huh? Oh, nothing. Interesting. Yeah, you know, a wee bit flooded. Might as well use that Sylvan Scrying to find something. Our source of red for Regisaur Alpha or Palani's Hatcher. A Vaultborn Tyrant would probably be ideal at this point. A good game, not so much. No. I hate Court of Calling. difficult to deal with that if you don't have the instant speed interaction like I did have against Amalia. Maybe it's creeping up in popularity a little bit more, because for the longest time I tried to play as many matches as possible, but for the longest time I just wasn't facing it whatsoever. It certainly felt like it fell off, but that could have just been a pocket of matches and whatnot that I just didn't happen to see it. Variance, of course. If I was grinding more matches, perhaps that would have evened out. I would be seeing it a little bit more. Nothing I haven't faced before, nothing I'm not used to. Doing that thing, Court of Calling or Collected Company to poof, we lose. We just lose. I could kind of make that work. Sunken Citadel, choose it as green commune to get the second land. Maybe if Carnage Tyrant or Palani's Hatcher was a Sylvan Scrying, I would do it. There we go, that's what I'm doing. Yeah, Questing Beast, big time. 2 lands, commune, Topiary Stomper. Feels quite a bit better. Authority of the Consoles does not feel better. We're going to be gunning for Archdruid's Charm to take that out, I hope. Wonder what the opponent is planning, though. No land. Really? No land in the top 5. Crazy. Super crazy. Well, Vaultborn Tyrant. We have 2 Carnage Tyrants, so that feels quite nice. Either, I would imagine we get a Sylvan Scrying. No Sylvan Scrying was sent to the bottom, so one is likely coming up, or that land, or another commune. 2 Authority of Really? This is extra wacky. Super wacky. Maybe I'll bring in Faded from History to take those authorities out. Oh, okay. Mono white. Aggro with the... Okay. You never know what's going to happen, but sometimes painful things, they just happen. Mono white Devotion. Huh, okay. Rabble Rousing. What does that do? I haven't really seen this hideaway enchantment. The white hideaway from Streets of New Capenna. Whenever you attack with 1 or more creatures, create that many green Oh, that's pretty good. Green and white citizens, normally +1/+1, but because they are part white, or they're creatures, other creatures you control get +1/+1, and that does mean we are done. Kind of just want to keep it the same. Kind of, nah. Questing Beast. Get that Fade from History. Get a bunch of them. I want to take out Authority of Consoles. That just devastates. And we saw some more enchantments. I imagine there's even more past that. Yeah, I bet. I bet it would lose if I kept that hand. or that one. You know what, that could work. 2 commune with Dinosaurs. I've done that before in the past. Commune, I mean, we could certainly get unlucky and not see one in the top 5 and not draw into it. But we search, we start, we see if we could have grabbed a Sunken Citadel. See, okay, well, there we go. We got a bunch of lands at least. We dug super deep and not seeing the first Sunken, which is crazy. 1 Sylvan Scrying and 1 Archdruid's Charm were passed to the bottom, unfortunately, but I would imagine Sunken Citadel's got to be coming up soon. Pretty soon. Maybe Authority of Consoles is, maybe they just didn't prioritize it. Maybe they removed Authority of the Consoles in place of something else. Sunken Citadel, you can go. Go, go, go. Let's go. Well, technically we got it. I like that. Able to make 7 at least. Played the Vaultborn Tyrant next turn and yeah, stabilize a wee bit. Hope they don't have too much exile effects, although I expect some amount of single target removal it's going to happen. Ooh. That's a lot. But we're not quite dead yet. Pretty much dead, not quite. Vaultborn to gain some life. That's going to be good. And Cavern of Souls as well. 5, 7. No, that's going to be it. Well, that's how it goes. A lovely mono-white aggro deck. Not the strongest matchup type for this deck in particular. Can't win them all. It's just not going to happen. But you can do stuff against your painful matchup types. I could bring in some sort of sweeper requiring 2 red, but again, you can imagine with this list tweaking it to support 2 red. Brotherhood's End, Anger of the Gods, Storm's Wrath, those sort of things would be a little bit problematic and pretty awkward. Could be Karn Silex, some colorless sweeper, any number of options. So, if I like that. 3 lands, Topiary Stomper, we get to a 4th one at least for the lovely Questing Beast. Mix in a Sylvan Scrying, Archdruid's Charm somewhere in there. We're in a good position. That deck. Okay, mono red or Gruul, Slick Shot. Yeah, High Noon, gonna pack a punch. Hopefully I get to feature the lovely potential of High Noon. Boros, Convoke, Heroic. Boros Heroic. Ooh. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, we'll use Sylvan Scrying. We've got to use it at some point. Certainly grab Castle Garenbrig. With Sunken, we can't make any extra mana for creatures, but with Castle Garenbrig, with 4 lands plus Castle, 5 in total, we make 6, so it's pretty good sometimes. We're probably just dead next turn, unfortunately, but maybe not. I don't know. See how big that Illuminator Virtuoso gets. Oh, Reckless Rage. Yeah, we're not winning that one. We can't have even blocked with Topiary Stompers, so that's just that's not happening. High Noon it is. I still think that's going to be pretty darn good against this particular deck. Alright. Oftentimes they do cast multiple cheap spells in a turn. If they play the Illuminator Virtuoso, it comes back around to turn 3. They have 3 lands. They have a bunch of spells for 1 mana. They can only cast 1 of those, so High Noon may just buy us enough time. The time we're looking for. It's really what it's all about. Slow down every single opponent. Then when I do my one thing in a turn, it's deadly. That hand is also quite deadly. It's all the mana we'll ever need. And Dath of Triumph, lovely stuff. Being the Forest, Sylvan Scrying on turn 2 for the first Sunken Citadel. Eventually Archdruid's Charm is probably going to grab the second one. No? Or we just get it right there. Well, alright. Okay, let me think. Usually I like to use up Sylvan Scrying because it can only ever be a land, but we can play Castle Garenbrig next turn and go Archdruids. Grab another Sunken plus the castle here. Nah, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Alright, we just have to hope the opponent doesn't kill us because next turn we kill them. They could They could reasonably deal 17, so we'll see. It would not be unheard of. But they don't have the Illuminator Virtuoso with Double Strike, so I think this is probably our best bet. Oh, well, it doesn't have haste, so we're good. You're dead. See you later. Too slow. Oh, too slow for this fantastic aggro. Yeah. Oh, poor baby.
Yes.
Oh yeah, mouse over all those dinos. Get them. Okay. We just have to do that once again. It is nice to persevere without having the sideboard tech that we brought in would have High Noon done much of anything. Probably not a whole lot. They just played a bunch of creatures, but perhaps they didn't have a whole lot to power up those creatures. Sometimes that's how it goes with this deck. You find 1/3 of your deck more than the other third. You don't get the good mixture. You have a bunch of spells, not a lot of creatures. Really, you probably only need one creature anyways, and then you throw all the spells towards it. But it certainly seemed like they had an overload of them. Yeah, I think I'll still stick with High Noon. That's still probably our best bet. You only do one thing a turn. Makes a lot of sense to me, at least. I imagine they're probably just thinking I got quite fortunate, which is definitely the case, getting those Sunken Citadels, but just seeing what can happen. Boom. Death. Lethal. All in one turn. Lovely. I could really see myself switching out Questing Beast for a single copy of Surak and Goreclaw. Maybe one Topiary Stomper for something else that gives haste. I think that's going to be quite reasonable. Even though this is a very aggressive deck, we don't have to mulligan. Sunken Citadel, Castle Garenbrig, part of the package. One of the communes, chances are, is going to dig for probably the other Sunken, but at the very least the other land that I'm looking for to get my third source of green. And okay, well, we might be dead. They got the turn 2 Illuminator Virtuoso, setting up for something very, very painful indeed. We'll see what commune grabs. It could be another Sunken. That's not the case, but hey, that's how she goes. Yeah. Oh boy. Slick. Okay. No, we're not dead yet. We're not dead yet. Okay, now we're getting pretty dead. That's a lot of damage. Ooh. 6, 9. Okay. Archdruid's Charm it is. They're going to be able to deal 7. Have to be. Maybe not. 4. Oh yeah, that's 7 right there. Boros Heroic got us, but we got them in fantastic fashion. Leave it there for now. Was Topiary Stomper more helpful than Hulking Raptor? Of course, it was a very small sample size, but I think it could be. I think I'll definitely use Topiary Stomper tomorrow all day as I grind. We'll find out. Maybe I'll switch things up a little bit for these more aggressive decks that, again, seem to be more common at the start of the season. People flying up the ranked ladder. But we'll leave it there for now. JDX, anybody else watching later on, whenever it is, take a big bite out of that like button. See you next time. Peace. Ending it on 3 again. Let's go.